Sale is the pinnacle activity involved in selling products or services in return for money or other compensation. It is an act of completion of a commercial activity. The deal is closed means the customer has consented to the proposed product or service by making full or partial payment, as in case of installments, to the seller. Sale is completed by the seller, the owner of the goods. It starts with consent or agreement to an acquisition or appropriation or request, followed by the passing of title in the item, an application, and due settlement of a price. The obligation for which arises due to the seller's requirement to pass ownership. Being a price, the seller is happy to part with ownership of or any claim upon the item. The purchaser, though a party to the sale, does not execute the sale. Only the seller does that. To be precise, the sale completes prior to the payment and gives rise to the obligation of payment. If the seller completes the first two above stages, consent and passing ownership of the sale prior to settlement of the price and sale is still valid and give rise to an obligation to pay. Personal selling. Personal selling is a promotional method in which one party uses skills and techniques for building personal relationships with the other party. This is involved in a purchase decision that results in both parties obtaining value. In most cases, the value for the salesperson is realized through a financial rewards the sale, while customers' value is realized from the benefits obtained by consuming the product. However, getting a customer to purchase a product is not always the objective of personal selling. For instance, selling may be used for the purpose of simply delivering information, because selling involves personal contact. This promotional method often occurs through face-to-face meetings or via telephone conversation, though newer technologies allow contact to take place over the internet, including using video conferencing or text messaging. These are the concepts of personal selling. Well, it's a part of product mix. It's a personal, like face-to-face, telephone, internet chat, presentation for the purpose of making sales and building relationships. Oral presentations, salesmanship, perceive and persuade buyers. The effort of salespeople go far beyond simply making transactions. They also include the following. These are the far beyond the personal selling for making transactions. Well, explaining product benefits. Of course, you're explaining your products, demonstrating the proper operation of the product, how it works your product, educating customers about the new product. Well, it is important for you, for being a salesman, to introduce, to know what is your product is selling, so that your customer will satisfied for your new product. Answering questions and responding to the objections. What are the feedback of your product? You must answer it and respond to it. Organizing and implementing point of purchase promotion. Arranging the terms of purchase, following the purchase to ensure that customers are satisfied. Well, these are the So here are the scope of personal selling. Hello guys, in the business there are two types of personal selling activities: inside selling and outside selling. Okay, let's start with the inside selling. Inside selling, it involves retail stores. In this group, we include the salesperson in the stores and the salespeople at the catalog retailers who take telephone orders. Also included are telephone order takers at manufacturers and wholesalers, most of whom take existing customers' routine orders over the telephone. And outside selling Salespeople go to the consumer. They make contact by telephone or in person. Most outside sales force usually represents producers or wholesalers, middlemen, selling to the business users and not to the household consumers. In outside selling, we also include. So these are the ads of outside selling. Producers whose representatives sells directly to the household consumers. Representatives of retail organizations who go to the consumer's house to demonstrate a product, give advice, or provide an estimate, such as salespeople for some furniture stores, home heating and air conditioning retailers. Representative of non-profitable organization, charity fundraisers, workers for political candidate. Well, these are the the scope of personal selling. There are two types of personal selling activities: the inside selling and outside selling. Take note of that, guys. Different types of salesmen. The order getters. Their role, most synonymous with selling, is a position in which the salesperson is actively engaged in using their skills to obtain orders from customers. Such roles can be further divided into new business development. A highly challenging yet potentially lucrative sales position is one where the main objective is to find new customers. Sales jobs in this category are often in fields that are very competitive but offer high rewards for those that are successful. The key distinguishing factor of these positions is that once a sale is made new business, salespeople pass customers on to others in their organization who handle account maintenance. These positions include business equipment sales. These people are often found in industries where companies' main profits come from the sale of supplies and services that come after an initial equipment purchase. The key objective of this business is to get buyers to purchase the main piece of equipment for which supplies and services are needed in order for the equipment to function. For instance, in the photography industry, certain salespeople only seek out of new accounts, and once a photography sale is made, they pass along the account to other salespeople who handle the sales of maintenance and supply new products. Telemarketing. This category includes product sales over the phone, whether aimed at business or consumer. While in the US, laws restrict unsolicited phone selling, the practice is still widely used in the business market. Consumer selling. Certain companies are very aggressive in their use of salespeople to build new consumer business. This includes retailers selling certain high-priced consumer products, including furniture, electronics, and clothing, housing products, including real estate, security services, building replacement products, and in-home product seller, including those selling door-to-door and products sold at home party events, such as cosmetics, kitchenware, and decorative products. And account management. Account management. Most people engaged in sales are not only involved in gaining the initial order, but work to build and maintain relationships with clients that are intended to last a long time. Salespeople involved in account management are found across a broad range of industries. Their responsibilities involve all aspects of the building customer relationships, with initial sale to follow-up account servicing. These include business-to-business selling, trade selling. Business-to-business selling. These salespeople sell products for business use with an emphasis on follow-up sales. In many cases, business-to-business salespeople have many different items available for sale, rather than a single product. So while the initial sale may only result in the buyer purchasing a few products, the potential exists for the buyer to purchase many other products as the buyer-seller relationship grows. And trade selling. Trade selling salespeople working for consumer product companies normally do not sell to the final user. Instead, their role is focused on first getting distributors, such as a wholesaler and retailers, to handle their products, and once this is accomplished, helping distributors to sell their products to be offering ideas for product advertising, in-store displays, and sales promotions. Order takers. Selling not always require a salesperson use methods designed to encourage customers to make a purchase. In fact, the greatest number of people engaged in selling are not order getters. Rather, they are considered order takers. In this role, salespeople primarily assist customers with a purchase in ways that are much less assertive than order getters. As might be expected, compensation for order takers is generally lower than the order getters. Among those serving as an order taker, roles are retail clerks, industrial distributor clerks, customer service. Retail clerks. While some retail salespeople are involved in new business selling, the vast majority of retail employees handle order taking tasks, which range from directing customers to products to handling customer checkout. Industrial distributor clerks. Industrial purchase situations, such as distributors of building products, will also have clerks to handle customer purchases. Customer service. Order taking is also handled in non-face-to-face ways through customer service personnel. Usually, this occurs via phone conversation. Through newer technologies are allowing for this task to be handled through electronic means such as online chat. Sales support. A final group involved in selling mostly assists with the selling activities of other sales professionals. These are included to the sales support. Technical specialists and office support. Technical specialists. When dealing with the sale of technical products, particularly in business markets, salespeople may need to draw on the expertise of others to assist with the process. This is particularly in the case when the buying party consists of a buying center. In business, selling many people from different functional areas may be involved in the purchase decision. If this buying center includes technical people such as scientists and engineers, a salesperson may seek assistance from members of their own technical staff who can help address specific questions. Office support. Salespeople also may receive assistance from their company's office staff in the form of creating promotional materials, setting up sales appointments, finding sales leads, arranging meeting space, or organizing trade show exhibits. So those are the different types of salesman. Okay, let's go on the place of personal salesmanship in the field of marketing. In the distribution of any product or service, there are two coordinate and complementary sets of considerations. Those of advertising, which aims to influence sales in the masses, and those of personal salesmanship, which seeks to influence the individual. Both of this is neither more fundamental than either, having to do with marketing. The term denoting the whole plan of distribution and inclusive of every phase of it. It includes the selection of marketing channels, trademarking, packaging, pricing, discounts, credits, and many other considerations which must be gone into and decided upon before the first salesman can be employed or the first piece of advertising copywritten. Well, personal salesmanship takes its place and as its sitting in this broader field of marketing. It carries the message of the product and marketing campaign to the middleman along the channel of distribution or the final consumer, or both. Ordinarily, it is the activity which brings in the cash and makes effective. Finally, the aims and objects of the marketing campaign as the whole. While at one time very much of an individualist and selling in his own way and own plan, the salesman today finds himself becoming more and more an integral part of a broad marketing plan that involves the necessity of handling and understanding advertising, discounts, credit policies, dealer helps, and numerous other marketing considerations which now play a large part in making the product itself attractive to the customer. What is sale? So this is the definition of a sale. Legally, a sale is a transaction in which one person persuades another to purchase something at an agreed price. From a business point of view, the sale should result in a profit to the seller. As a legitimate phase of commerce, it should convey an advantage or a profit to the buyer. As a practical matter, the salesman should keep the last two word parts of this definition constantly in mind. Well, he will want to gauge the effectiveness of his selling in terms of profit to his house, and recognition and benefit to the buyer. Keep constantly before him will prevent an apologetic attitude, not uncommon to salesmen, which, if allowed to develop, tends to lower sales morale. As a practical matter also, it must be recognized that its mutual advantage may not always materialize. While the price of the sugar may go up or down, the result a loss either to the buyer or the seller. The price of a security, well sincerely recommended, may go off either temporarily or permanently, sometimes from causes quite aside from its intrinsic value. Well, trends in a neighborhood, changes in the plans of a municipality or some existing condition, unknown to buyer or seller at the time of the sale, may cause real estate to deteriorate in value. But these are ordinary risks to which all business is subjected. The salesman who has acted in good faith is not called upon to assume a personal responsibility for these occasional happenings. Salesmanship has been defined by different people in different ways. Some people say salesmanship is a practice of investigating and satisfying customer needs through a process that is efficient, fair, sincere, mutually beneficial, and aim a long-term productive relationship. So guys, I'll give you some defined by guru, a famous guru, I.G. Sapiro. He said, the art of successfully persuading prospects of customers to buy products or service from which they can derive suitable benefits, thereby increasing their total satisfaction. Well, according to I.G. Sapiro, salesmanship means to him that persuading prospects to the customers and satisfy them will have can derive suitable benefits, no? According to I.G. Sapiro. According to Professor Stevenson, defines salesmanship as a concise effort on the part of the seller to induce a prospective buyer to buy, even if he had not thought of favorably. According to Goss, Waitman, and Bates, observe, salesmanship consists of persuading people to buy what you have for sale and making them want in, helping to make their minds. According to A.F. Shoemaker, define selling as the process affecting the transfer with a profit to buyer and selling goods and services that give them lasting satisfaction. To the buyer is predisposed to come back to the seller for more of the same. Well, according to American Marketing Association, defines the salesmanship is an oral presentation in a conversation with one or more prospective customers for the purpose of making sales. Well, according to the C.A. Patterson, defines salesmanship is the process whereby a seller ascertains and activates the needs or wants of the buyer and satisfies these needs and wants the mutual continuous advantage of both the buyer and seller. According to the National Association of Marketing Teachers of America, defines salesmanship is the ability to persuade people to buy goods or services at a profit to the seller and benefit to the buyer. If we closely observe and understand the definitions of a salesmanship, we find certain essential features of salesmanship. They can be summarized as follows. Well, salesmanship is the ability to persuade. Salesmanship benefits both buyers and sellers, stands for commercial honesty, aims at winning the buyer's confidence. Ideal salesmanship aims at serving the producer, distributor, and consumer. Salesman acts as a link between the seller and the consumer. Salesmanship is an educative process. Salesmanship creates satisfied customers. Here are the nature of salesmanship. Salesmanship involves persuasion of customers. A salesman has the ability to convince the people to buy his product. It essentially involves the ability to influence or persuade people to buy a product or service. In fact, persuasion is the soul of modern salesmanship. Gone are the days when a sale was forced on the customers. Modern salesmanship does not rely on pressure tactics or compulsion to clinch a sale. The customer is led to a favorable buying decision through careful and imaginative handling. The salesman necessarily creates a favorable impression on the prospective buyer's mind by presenting the benefits associated with the product or service being offered for sale. Salesmanship involves winning buyers' confidence. Modern salesmanship aims at educating the customer and providing a solution to his problems. Well, this helps in winning his confidence. It aims at winning the confidence of the buyers by persuading and educating them about availability of products and services, their special features, and their utility in satisfying their respective needs. Salesmanship involves providing information. Salesmanship is an educative process. It tells customers the ways in which they can satisfy their needs. Salesman provides information about products available, their broad features, and their uses and utility to the customers. Salesmanship aims at mutual benefit. Salesmanship is a two-way process. It results in benefits not only to the sellers but also to the buyers. It helps in solving the problems of the buyers and satisfying their needs. Customer satisfaction leads to increase in profitable sales volume for the salesman. And salesmanship creates satisfied customers. Salesmanship in modern days aims at creating satisfied customers rather than just profit-generating sales. In any marketing transaction, a sale once made would indicate the end of the process. However, once there is satisfied customer, it is the beginning of a long-lasting relationship which can create more sales in future. Therefore, modern salesmanship always aims at creating satisfied customers who will most likely purchase his goods and services as when necessary. Importance of salesmanship. Salesmanship is an indispensable technique of promotion. The importance of personal selling may be described under the following. Number 1. Benefits to consumers. Salesman acts as a friend and guide to consumers. He informs them of new products and new uses of existing products. He helps them in choosing products which match their needs and incomes. A salesman guides the customers in buying products that will provide maximum satisfaction. Number 2. Benefits to businessmen. They help in the creation of demand for new products and in the extension of markets for existing ones. Through personal selling, a businessman can not only inform customers of his products but can know their taste, attitudes, and behavior. Such information is helpful in the design and development of products that match market demand. By creating large-scale and regular demand, salesmanship makes planned and regular mass production possible. Salesmen help to build up a favorable corporate image necessary to secure repeat sales. Number 3. Benefits to society. Salesmanship helps to expand employment and income of a country through large and rapid sales turnover. Salesmen provide marketing information to producers so that consumers can get new and better products. Salesmen perform several non-selling tasks: after-sales service, getting complaints, conducting marketing research, providing credit information, delivering goods, collecting payments, or etc. etc. Salesmen help minimize price fluctuations and trade cycles by matching demand and supply. And those are the importance of salesmanship. Okay guys, let's move on the scope of salesmanship. Salesmanship has become an indispensable part of a business activity. Today, everybody is a seller, selling something or the other. It has been rightly pointed out that sales are the lifeblood of business. The job of today's salesman is not confined to selling consumer goods. He or she also has to sell industrial, agricultural goods and services like transport, repairing, teaching, printing, banking, legal consultancy, medicine, insurance, and so on. Thus, the scope of salesmanship is vast and varied with the advancement of science and technology. The scope of a salesmanship has become unlimited. It is a skill which is essential in every sphere of human activity. Every one of us, in one sense or the other, is a salesman. The job of a lawyer pleading his case, teacher teaching his ideas, an applicant applying for a job resembles the job of a salesman. In each of these cases, skill and ability of a salesman is very much necessary in order to be successful. Thus, we observe that the skill of a salesmanship is not restricted to selling goods and services but is applicable in several other fields. A modern salesman occupies a pivotal position in the structure of an organization. Modern sales managers task decisions about recruitment, selection, training, and controlling of sales force. Similarly, the activities of a production and sales are also considerably regulated by the sales manager of an organization. Salesmanship today covers a wide range of activities and constitutes an integral part of management. It also offers a wide scope for development in future. In fact, modern salesmanship is going on scientific lines day by day. Time is not far when salesmanship will be in a position to dictate to the producers of goods and services what, when, and how much to produce for sale in the market. The scope of salesman activities will, of course, depend to a considerable extent upon the line he is selling and the channels of distribution used. However, it is possible to present an outline, part or all, which will apply to the average salesman. First and foremost, his main activity is to sell an adequate volume of satisfactory profit. As a matter of fact, all of the rest of the rather wide range of his activities should and thus contribute in one other way or another, directly or indirectly, to this main objective. This will be found to require a working knowledge of his industry, a fairly definite knowledge of his company, its history and its organization, and even more detailed acquaintance with his sales department and its very most knowledge of the product of offering to be sold and how best to sell it. He or she must study his territory, analyze it and know it, thoroughly organize it, build a list of prospects which he can keep profitably busy, and create a personal goodwill for himself and business goodwill toward his company. In addition, the salesman must present a detailed report of his daily activities and any changes in trade conditions, and should take a personal pride in submitting any personal sales methods which have been effective with him and which he believes will be helpful to other men in sales organization. He has a moral obligation constantly to improve his salesmanship by reading and study, consulting the latest books and keeping in close touch with his trade journals. In the foregoing outline, we must assume a salesman selling to the trade. Some of these activities will not apply to the specialty salesman who sells to users or consumers, but some of these duties involve upon all salesman, and the principle involved to preparedness from every angle. Applies to all, will be seen that the scope of personal salesmanship is a bold one.